Alarak, where do we have him?
Well, he has hit scan. Not great, but he has it. It's his destroyers. So you can leave a bunch of void rays patrolling around your base to shoot down missiles. You can't shoot down missiles if you use F2, so that's not great. At least you won't need as much money worth of destroyers as someone like, Abathur or anyone else who has to fight through point defense drones. They're going to need more money worth of missile defense than you, but it's still going to be quite a lot of missile defense. It's basically going to be, you will have Alarak and your mothership to solo the map with, some destroyers helping them, but a lot of the destroyers you make are just going to go home and defend against missiles. And yeah, I mean, mothership can teleport, so that gives you decent mobility options for the whole missed opportunities waves coming from two different sides on the bots, and also for Purifier Beam. So yeah, B, maybe A.
How about you, Tutu?
Destroyers, you do patrol destroyers. When the splitter missiles come, some of them will go down. You're pretty much gonna just use Mothership and Alarak and Supplicants, some destroyers to help. I don't think you can't F2 though, so people who forget are gonna if you forget, you're gonna wreck your defense.
It's a 30-minute game.
Defense.
You only need to forget it once, and your whole setup, your whole beautiful, perfect setup is ruined.
Yeah,
don't worry though. It's missed opportunities, so you'll have 10 minutes to set it up again before the final bot wave actually spawns.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I put him in C because he
actually,
has to yeah.
Actually, I also have him in C because of that annoying part where you have to make sure to not F2, or else everything is gonna be out of position. And also, it's kind of annoying to just have two units. I tried doing the mothership on missed opportunities. I guess with Alarak it's easier, but it's still kind of, you have to be on point with your position. You can't just attack move your mothership in Alarak and expect them to just win without micro. You kind of need to be in the right spot when the things arrive, and also have
they do better than Leviathans on attack move?
I guess depending on if you have P3 or not. P3, once you get your 4th Leviathan, it's kind of hard to die. But I still think I still think he's not quite B. I have this because of the annoying part of having to I guess
having to F2 makes up for the fact that he's better than Abathur in every other way is so much that he's a whole tier lower.
No, not having to.
I don't think
having
he's better
to not
than Abathur.
F2. Well, okay. Firstly, no, you won't lose destroyers to splitter missiles because the little splitter missiles the splitters that come out of splitter missiles are also shoot downable. So if you have hit scan, no, you shouldn't get hit by those unless you have too few destroyers, and you do not need a lot. You only need maybe 10 at your expansion, 10 at your expansion, 20 at your main is going to be plenty. And that's assuming you're putting your
destroyers.
Destroyers. And that's assuming your pylon farm is in your main. So you still will have destroyers on the front line, so it's not just hero solo. It doesn't have to be. You have more relevant top bar for this, since you have structure overcharge is going to do more than toxic nests just getting. Yeah, structure overcharge means that toxic nests are you can say that any building you place to use structure overcharge is going to die to Purifier Beam, but one, you can use a warp prism, and two, if the building's going to die, well, the same thing applies to toxic nests. So at least this is something that doesn't need to be proactively set up.
Ultimately, the reason why I have Abathur higher than Alarak is because Abathur can kind of out heal the missiles with queens and men, whereas for us commanders generally you just gotta tank him or shoot him down with
out heal on his structures.
Yeah, men.
Yeah.
What?
You get hurt. You're not gonna out heal, but like they get hurt a few times, but you heal up a little, and that helps. So you
Okay,
don't
but
lose your structures.
Protoss has shield regeneration, which helps a lot.
Much slower.
I don't think Abathur's bad against missile command. He's really good against missile command.
Alarak isn't bad against missile command either.
Yeah, but it's the fact that like you have to bring or like you have to make destroyers, send them home, be part of your patrol group, or you move
Yeah.
your mothership home, make more destroyers. Otherwise, your mothership's at home defending missiles and not on the field. So you got to keep doing this.
Okay,
over
but
and
you
over,
don't
and it's a lot
ever
of
have to
work.
look back when a nuke spawns.
You don't have to.
I don't know. I'd rather look back when the nuke spawns rather than having to constantly send back destroyers home. You know, because I'm one of those guys who can't keep up the macro for more than 2 minutes at a time, and
Well, good
it
news,
kind
the
of
mothership can build up more than 2 minutes worth of destroyer charges. It can hold more than that many charges.
I think for like us, it's not that hard because we're kind of used to it. But like people who don't, it's kind of like it's hard to remember or like patrolling in the right spots as well. Because if you miss a corner, then you're gonna like the building, like your geyser or something, is gonna be exposed and might get hit by a nuke.
Eh.
If you're patrolling like areas is not wide enough or like because you thought you had it covered but you didn't, that happens sometimes.
and also I don't know. Abathur's attacking army is just stronger, flat out than I don't know Alarak, the mothership
Are
in the
you
field.
sure?
Yeah.
Well, if you're missing destroyers, then his army's not gonna be as strong. Alarak's army.
Yes, but you're gonna need like how much money into spores if you're playing as Abathur?
I don't put that many. You're gonna float minerals anyways. Abathur always floats minerals.
Yeah, he's gas starved.
Like you're gonna have all the destroyers you need at home by like the end of the second bot wave.
Look, we're not saying Alarak's bad. I just don't think
Yes, you are.
he's-
You're putting him a whole tier below Abathur.
I just think he's not as strong as Abathur. That's all I'm saying. You can't
What
do
does
that.
Abathur have over him other than at least if Abathur F2s, it's slightly less bad. Well, your brutalists still are supposed to be at home, so
No, they're not at home. You only deep tunnel, you kill the nuke, and then you walk back out, or you deep tunnel back. The rest of the time, you're either just taking the hit and then mending, or you're gonna use your swarm hosts with lots of biomass, so they just keep making locusts.
And you can heal with mend and queens. You can even have. I thought it was brought up before that spore crawlers walking around can technically outrun missiles.
The nuke, you technically can outrun the nuke, but it's not practical.
I mean,
yes. So you're saying that we're going to use only ultimate evolutions for attacking, but we're also going to say that those ultimate evolutions are going to be better than Alarak Mothership and like 15 destroyers.
You're not only using once you have your 6 ultimate evos, you get mutalisks or something, or swarm hosts, or both.
But I thought you were putting swarm hosts at home.
You have enough biomass and money and gas for all of those, and then you have lots of spare minerals for spores.
Spores. I guess we can also say the same thing for Alarak. He will have enough money for a lot of destroyers, even
Yeah,
ascendants.
He's mineral
even-
starved.
Yeah,
though. He's a
That-
mineral starved commander.
How is he mineral starved if you're not making any gateway units?
Why aren't you?
Because you have destroyers and you can make plenty of destroyers and cannons.
I think Tutu
Why
meant that.
why would you need gateway units on Alarak here?
I think
All that's
Tutu
gonna
meant
happen
that
is
you
you're
would.
gonna fire ascendant orbs that get shot down by point defense drones.
I think Tutu meant that you could send supplicants to Alarak to kind of keep him alive and stuff. Since he and the mothership are kind of soloing the map. Again, quasi soloing the map with a few other units. You want to have the supplicants there to keep him alive and for Empower Me to be stronger.
Eating a destroyer is not that expensive. And if
I-
there aren't any destroyers, he just takes a bite out of the mothership. He doesn't even eat it all the way.
I just think that like for less serious players, the macro and like the I guess the macro required and like to make destroyers while you're out in the field, send them back to patrol, and repeating that and remembering that, especially if you're not used to it, remembering to do this, or else if you don't have enough, then if you send too many back, then your army in front is too weak.
You will not be able to send too many back because like you could do it without the destroyers. The destroyers are just to make it easier on the front.
Ultimately, I think that the Brutalisks, the Brutalisks can just, the fact that you have deep tunnel means that you're almost never out of position for anything. You
That's
have
1 point.
Yeah.
I have one more point. You can deep tunnel to your allies' base and protect them if there's a nuke.
Yeah.
Okay, guys,
Forgot about this ally thing.
we already have
I do
the.
not see this as being a differentive tier
Well,
anywhere here.
okay. How about this? We'll put him in C for now, and then he's like the next one for promotion if there aren't a lot of Bs, or if there it's
Or if
happened
there are
before.
not a lot of C's, then Abathur is the next one for demotion.
That also works. Yeah, we can work it out. We can work it out later on. It's happened before. We've demoted and promoted commanders based on where the others are placed. Yeah, you know. All right. By the way, for Alarak without prestige, is he definitely C?
He's much worse.
Yeah, he's terrible.
Okay, so Alarak
He's
without
more
prestige.
like D without prestige.
Yikers.
You need destroyer spam.
All right.
He doesn't. I would say he's like E without prestige. He's
Well,
really bad.
He has photon cannons at least.
All
That's
right.
all he's got going for him.
So that's E.
Yeah.